Okay, so we're going to deal with some issues today. And I'm talking about some deep-rooted issues that the Lord spoke to me about in the back and also through praise and worship. But Hebrews 13:7, they're going to put it up on the screen. It said, remember those who have rule over you. Is this the one I want? Yeah. Remember those that have rule over you who've spoken the word of God to you, whose faith follow, consider the outcome of their conduct. Verse 8. It said, Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and what? Forever. Okay. Verse 9 is what I want to, is the thing I want to stick on. Do not be carried about with various strange doctrines, for it is good that the heart be established by what? Grace, which is God and American favor. Not with food, which have not profited you, those who have been occupied with them. So the first thing Paul talks about in Hebrews, or whoever wrote Hebrews, we're not really sure, but it talks about having your heart established in grace. Now, we talked about this the last couple of weeks in this series about if your heart is established with grace, then you need faith in your heart, right? If there's no grace there, then there's a situation that can happen if your heart is not established in grace. All right, you follow me? Y'all know 3 John 1 and 2 said, I wish above all that you prosper and be in health, even as your what? Soul prosper. Your soul is your mind, will, and emotions. Okay? Everybody know that. Your mind, will, and emotions. Now, the thing is, people say you're so emotional. You shouldn't be so emotional. Well, emotion is not bad because God gave us emotions. Okay? But what we need to understand is emotion should not have you. Okay? You should be able to handle your emotions. All right? So let's go to Proverbs 4:23. And this is our stickler here that's going to help us today. And I might not use another verse today. I don't know, depending on what the Lord want to do. Okay? We might use another verse, and the rest of the stuff we probably go next week. Is that okay? Amen. Okay. Proverbs 4:23. And they're going to put it up for you. And it says this, it is so powerful. It says, keep your heart with all diligence, for out of it springs what? The issues of life. Okay? The issues of life. So put the Amplified up there for me too, Fifi. We're going to have to read the different ones. I'm going to give you like 3 more translations of this same verse, so I want you to fully get what's going on. It said, keep and guard your heart with all vigilance, and above all that you guard, for out of it flow the spring of life. Okay? Now put the NIV up there. We're going to just do 2 more. That okay? Because I want to make sure you get it and understand what we're saying here. Above all else, guard your heart, for it is the wellspring of life. Okay? Now we're going to put the Message translation up there and then the New Living Translation after that. Now you probably say, why he's putting all these up there? Because you need to get it. All right, you got a big head for a reason. Everybody head in here big. You ain't know that? Yes, and now you got mad at me. Keep vigilant, watch over your heart. That's where life starts. Right? And then she's going to put the New Living. Guard your heart above all else, for it determines the course of your life. Okay, so we read all this to understand the reason why we have issues is because of the heart. Then the Bible said, guard your heart, for out of it flows the issues. So if you have some issues, it's because what you allowed to come in your heart. Okay, so I thought we were going to just talk about this heart thing and we're going to move forward and go forward and things like this. But the Lord just explained something to me. The reason why we have negative emotion issues is because something that happened a long time ago. And what I've learned is when you open that door to the negative issues or something happens to you long time ago, as soon as you open that door, listen to me, people, it is very hard to get rid of. And for years and years, people have issues and trying to figure out why they have issues. But if you go back and trace it back, it has something to do with somewhere in your past when you allow that door to open and allow that negative emotion to get in your heart. So, so now these issues will start falling out. So when I was in the back of the day, the Lord said, this is why, it was a program that came on when I was watching. He said, this is why people have marital issues. Now y'all all quiet. Because this guy brought his issues and she brought her issues. She trying to fix his issue and he's trying to fix her issue. And nobody can fix each other what? Issues. So we got 2 parties coming together with issues and trying to fix each other issues that create a what? Bigger what? Issue. Y'all quiet this morning. So that's what happened even in friendships and things like that. We bring these negative emotions. He said, guard your heart. Because if you don't, whatever comes in there, now you have a negative emotion. You know, it was like a couple of weeks ago, you know, because I know my issues, you know, at home I'm very spoiled. I got to have my way. All right, nobody else like that, but it's okay. But, you know, my wife said, you know, if you don't get your way, boy, you know, I'm going to hook you up. Don't worry, you'll be all right. And now she ain't talking about that. See where y'all mind is? Or was she? No, I'm just kidding. But, no. But, you know, one day we were sitting at the table. And this is when I started studying this about the flesh and spirit about 3 months ago. I've been studying it really hard and trying to, you know, control my emotions, right? But the thing I learned, you cannot control your emotions, okay? Only God can help you control your emotions, your negative emotions. And I'm going to show you how. It's in the Word of God. See, we keep giving people steps of how to do things and not giving them word. And because we're not giving them word and we're giving them steps, they do the steps, and then the steps don't work. Now they get discouraged. Now they don't believe in none of this stuff. They don't believe in none of this word. They don't believe in this God thing. You're going to tell me to do this because this is what you say God say do. But then when I do it and it don't work, I don't believe God. So is it their fault? No, it's the church's fault because we don't give people the right dialogue or the right scripture of what the word say, how to get rid of what? These negative issues. So I've been studying this stuff. And I'm learning that a lot of things, even submission in marriage, has to do with trusting God and having faith in God. So one day I was irritated. I'm going to share this story. You know, I talk about me all the time. My wife said this, don't tell her business. So one day I was just eating and I was just irritated. And my wife was like, you know, she just always bothers me because she said I be smacking. It never bothers me. But I was irritated that day, you know. So I was eating my food and it was some macaroni and cheese. It was real good, especially the next day macaroni and cheese. How many know what I'm talking about? Not the fresh one, the next day or 2 days later. It's just so good. So I was eating it. And she said, and I was irritated. She said, can you just please stop smacking? And I picked my head up. Boy, I was ready. I was ready. I was ready to say something. I said, and I I didn't catch it. I just felt the Holy Spirit. I said, don't do that. I said, don't do it. It was a negative emotion rising up. But then to add salt to an injury, my wife said, that's what I thought. Somebody give me some dice, roll it, something. She said, that's what I thought. That's what I thought you were going to say. You know, I'm like, did she go? Did she say that? And guess what? I ain't even say anything. But how many know because of a pain or hurt that if someone say something slick, you have to say something. And you think it's because I ain't going to let nobody, you know, you think it's something present tense. But really is something happened in your past when someone took advantage of you or talked to you any type of way and you held it and say, never again will I allow that to happen. And you think it's okay, but really it's a negative emotion. Because you start listening to the chatter. I can't believe you let people talk to you like that. You don't let nobody talk to you. You from this place. You from here. Don't let nobody talk. Next time somebody talk to you like that, you let them know. And then you start listening, and that stuff gets in what? In your heart. And you start listening to things that people were saying. And now the next time it happens, you what? Explode. A negative emotion. Because you let somebody else that's been hurt give you advice. And now you're acting in a negative emotion. And the next thing is, once you say something, you can't take it back. And no matter how much you apologize, it still hurts somebody. And the thing is, you forgot how it felt. Because sometimes you got to see, this is the thing. Can I talk to you other? Sometimes you don't understand what that person may have been through. They might be acting that way because they've been hurt. But instead of you seeing that, you hearing something somebody else say. And you're not guarding your heart. Who am I talking to today? So now we just let these negative emotions run amok. And now everybody else has issues, but not you. The Bible talks about get the log or the beam out your own eye. Because if you can't get it out your own eye, you can't see nobody else's thing. And what we do is always talk about everybody else's issues instead of what? Fixing our own issue. So the writer said, guard your heart. Because out of it flows what? The issues of life. So if you have issues, it's a heart thing. It's something that happened in your heart, and there's some things that's going on. And you know, sometimes even if you don't act out outwardly, something's still going on inwardly. You know, some of you are growling inside. You know, it's just, I mean, they don't know who they talking to. I mean, it's the same thing. Because the next thing that happened, that person, let's say somebody did something at church this morning. No, nobody never do nothing at church. Nobody never do nothing wrong. They always nice. They do everything right. But just say somebody did something at church and you ain't say that. And you carrying this thing all day. And then the next person to say something to you, even trying to be polite, you'll go off on them. You never did that before? I have. See, that's why I just talk about myself. I have done it before. You know, I go home and I'm mad about something. My wife says something. I'm like, what is it? She's like, don't you dare take it out on me. See, have you ever done that? Because you carried the what? Negative emotion. You let it get in your heart. How do I guard my heart? With the word of God. How do I guard my heart? By prayer. See, prayer does some things too. It says it brings the peace that passes all understanding. See, we don't guard our hearts. We let everybody have our hearts all the time. Except the one that should fully have a heart is who God. He's going to take it. He's going to protect our heart. He's not going to hurt you. Are you listening to? So we got these issues that's flowing out of our heart. All these things. We act mean and we just snappy and we don't understand. I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to change some things in my life. You know, I know, Pastor. I know, brother. I know, sister. I know what the words say, but God knows my heart. That's why you're here. And we use that excuse, God knows my heart. And what we do is we don't try to get better. We use that as an excuse. We don't address the issues that I got some real issues. And then we got parents that, oh man, now this is a whole nother story. But then we got parents got issues, then we pull them in our children. Then our children had an issue and they pull it into their grandchildren. And they're all walking around with the same issue and no one dealt with the issue. That's why the Bible said get rid of all root of bitterness. And when we look at that scripture, you're thinking about it's talking about bitterness, but it's talking about a root cause that caused bitterness. So what is the root cause of why you have a negative emotion? What is the root problem? I know you're married and I know you get mad at your husband and you get mad at your wife and you go off on them, but they are not the root cause. This thing happened before you said, I do. And there's some issues that are going on in our lives and we don't want to get it fixed because we think, you know, especially men, we got issues and we don't want to address the issue because I'm all right. I don't need to listen to no man. I don't need to hear nobody. I'm my own man. See, that's right. This shit, you got issues. I ain't got to listen to the supervisor. That's saying you got issues because somebody in authority did something to you. So now you have a problem with authority. All right, we all cried in here. Thank you, honey, for this helping me out here. Let's go to John 14:1. Come on, John 14:1. Y'all with me? Amen. All right, y'all with me now. So we got to deal with these things. All right. So, Pastor, you talking about all these issues. How we get rid of them? I'm about to tell you. Hello, y'all here, church? Oh, this is a good series already. I just started that. These negative issues. You ever wonder why you just blow up sometimes? You really think it was that one person that made you mad that day? You really believe that somebody said something wrong that one day, today or yesterday caused you to really blow up? You believe that they agitated that thing? You really believe it was that lady? Every time you see her, she just do something to you. You really believe it's that lady? How about if you really do the self-examination? That lady probably remind you of another lady long time ago that did something to you. So every time you see that lady, it's plenty of other ladies. It's different ladies. The people out here act crazy. Everybody got issues out here. But when this one walked past, you don't realize that it may be somebody that reminds you of somebody in your past that did something to you. All right, y'all quiet me. Come on, John 14:1. Where we at? John 14:1. It said, let not your heart be what? Troubled, right? You believe in God, believe what? Also in me. So he said this to them when he was this was the night before Jesus was about to die. Jesus, who they was walking with for 3 years, he going to tell them not let your heart be troubled. How you going to tell them that? But he gave them the answer. He said, believe in me. See, the problem why we don't deal with these troubled hearts and these issues, we don't believe in God. See, that's what the scripture said. Let not your heart be trouble. That word trouble means to stir or be agitated, to cause an inward commotion. Inward commotion, just feeling all, just that inward commotion. And that's what it means, don't let your heart be troubled. So what Jesus was telling them was, in the Greek it says, don't let your heart be stirred or agitated, to cause an inward commotion, or take away the calmness or mind, or disturb his composure of calmness. Are you listening, folks? So we have all these things that we're dealing with. And everybody has some issues that they did. Now, your issue may not be my issue or things like that. I had to, sometimes when I'm in prayer, God speaks to me about my issue. And I was agitated. I'm always agitated. Don't it seem like it? See, that's because I'm up here telling my business. See, y'all, that's why I get free. See what I'm saying? And this is why you still have your issues. I still got some, but I'm getting free and free. But I was praying one day, and I was just so irritated. And I said, God, why am I so irritated? He said, look up a perfectionist. I said, He said, look up perfectionist. I said, okay, I'll look it up. So I looked it up, and 8 out of 10, bing, 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 it was me. I said, this is amazing. And he said, this is why you're agitated, because you're a perfectionist, and the perfectionist is an issue. See, it's a difference between excellence and a perfectionist. See, we think it's the same thing. See, and I used to think it was the same thing. It's not the same thing. Being an excellence, being a perfectionist is agitate, and you agitate other people. I guess I'm just talking to myself today. Nobody else is here. So he's saying, let not your heart be troubled. Then he said, you believe in God, believe also in me. So how do I not have these emotions run me? Trust in God. If I know God's going to handle the situation, why I got to blow up? If I know God is my vindicator, why I got to let somebody have it? If his scriptures say vengeance is mine, said the Lord, why I got to take my vengeance in my own hand? Are you listening to me, people? Why do I got to go about and do something and take care of something? See, the thing is, I think what happened in the church is, a lot of us didn't come from the church. Only about 4 of y'all, right? A lot of it ain't come from the church. Y'all came from outside on the street somewhere, right? And you got saved. But what happens is you bring that in here. You're no longer part of that anymore. See, this is why the part of renewing your mind is so important. Because we try to bring that in here and act like that here. No, you got some issues. Come on, people. And they're negative. And they're harmful. See, the thing is not just harmful for other people, but it's harmful to you. Are you hearing me? So Isaiah 26 says, he will keep you in perfect peace if you keep your mind stayed on him. Right? Okay. How many know you keep your mind stayed on the negative stuff? Come here for a second, Ebony. Today. Because I know you're going to move slow, Seattle. Like Ebony, right? You can come and stand right here. All right. Ebony, I love Ebony. Okay. She's a sweet lady. But Ebony is a type of person, she sees good in everything. No matter what. I was talking about my own kids about something. I was saying one of my kids got real nappy hair. Pastor, no one has nappy hair. How many know that that's not true? But she says that, right? No one has nappy hair. And she says everyone is beautiful. Everybody is beautiful. Everybody is beautiful. They are. But listen, she never sees things in a negative light. Now, let me show you something. Now, if you have somebody that's very negative, they will come into an environment and only see negativity. That's their issue. Because something negative happened to them, so all the thing they always see is something negative. See, she is always positive. I know you don't like being up here, but I just got to use this example. Okay, your husband right there watching. Okay. That's my boo. Look out, that's my boo. You press, put your hand down. Yeah, let everybody know. But she sees the good in everything, no matter what, because she has a positive outlook on everything. Things there. I know you want to hear him sit down. She has a positive outlook on everything. So everything she sees or do, everything is beautiful. No one has bad hair. And she said no one needs to get a perm. That's what she believes. And I say the Lord told Madam C.J. Walker the remedy. And visit her one night. and said, I need you to help all black women. I'm just kidding, y'all. Don't be mad at me. I'm just joking. Just please, please, please. But listen to me. But he said, if you keep your mind stayed, and what I'm saying is she always keep her mind on positive things. So if we can just deal with these issues and have faith in God, that when these things happen, that I can start trusting God and say, God's going to take care of it. No matter what they did to me, it's okay. God's going to take care. I love them. It's okay. God loves them too. I'm just going to pray for them. I'm going to do good to those who despitefully use me. That's what the Bible teaches. And because we don't do that, we just carry this stuff in our heart and we have these issues and we've been having them for years. And then we always asking for prayer, but we really don't want to be prayed for because we still want to be angry. We love having issues. We like to have this chip on our shoulder. So anytime somebody does us wrong, I can pull them out of the back pocket and let him know or let her know that for real, I might be saved. But I wouldn't always say. See, if you even use that, that shows you trying to keep your issues. You're trying to keep that march or keep that thing. I'm trying to tell you how to live as a child of God. How when you get hit in one cheek, you offer up the other cheek. How to control your negative emotions. Y'all looking at me crazy. But it's causing us to get in trouble at work, in our marriages. We get mad at our children, and because we so these negative, we blast out and say things to our children, and then we'll go apologize later. But the damage has already been done, and you don't even know it. Before you can apologize 2 hours later, they already text their friend about what you did and how you hurt them. Y'all ain't listening to me. I ain't got to get a lot of claps today. But it's the truth. These young people move fast. Always got their phone on, always with them. It's plugged in somewhere to make sure they always got a charge. When they be cleaning the church, they all the things out the wall. I said the kids can at least put it back in the wall. But that's what we do. Because of these negative emotions. And we just blow up, especially y'all ones that keep it all in. And you think because you never said nothing, I ain't got issues. No, you do, because you keeping it all in. You're a ticking time bomb. And soon as someone does something, you just explode because you never dealt with this thing. You never allowed God to deal with it. You didn't have faith and trust and believe God that, that I'm dealing with this stuff. He said, let not your heart be troubled, but believe in me. Believe that I'm going to take care of it. Believe that everything that came up against you, everything that happened to you at work or on a job in your marriage, you got to trust me that I'm going to deal with this thing. I'm going to take care of this thing. But if you don't trust me and you get mad and you get these negative emotions and then you start hearing your girlfriends or your boy at work and say, man, you ain't got to deal with it, girl. You ain't got to deal with it. Then that stuff get in your heart. And then you start looking at everybody else situation, how good it looks. Oh, they got a great this and they got a great this and they got a great job. So then you start getting envy and jealous of people. And then that stuff start getting in your heart on top of already what hurt you years ago. So then you walked around jacked up with issues of hurt, pain, jealousy, and envy, and you don't know what to do. So one day you just say, God, I'm tired. I'm tired of church. I'm tired of church folk. I'm tired of everything. I just want to give up because you haven't dealt with the issue. That's what the problem is. And we can't walk around like we all don't have any. I started talking to my mom. I said, man, I know I got some. Yeah, I do. But I know the word too. What was it, last year, 2 years ago? My wife used to say, oh, this is your monthly. That's what she used to tell me about 2 years ago. She said, every month you act like this. She did. And she was telling me, and I didn't know it was no big thing. I didn't even realize I was acting like that. Because what happens if I don't deal with it, my heart becomes so hardened that I don't even know that I got issues. And it'll get to the point that everybody else around me has it. Right? They crazy. They got issues. Because you don't. But see, I learned something years ago. That people see you better than you see you. And when my wife said that to me, I started taking self-examination. And I said, God, I don't know what this is. I said, can you help me? I said, I trust in your word. Now I don't act like that. But the other day, it seemed like it tried to creep back in. Like, what was it, 2 weeks ago or something? Tried to creep back in. I said, no. Can't happen. We got to deal with this emotions. So faith in God is how we conquer these negative emotions. Look at this. Go to John 14:27. They're going to put that up there for you. Is this helping you guys? Yes. Amen. Hopefully this is giving you something, okay? Hallelujah. John 14:27. It said, peace I give with you. My peace I give to you, not as the world gives, do I give to you. Let not your heart be troubled. Neither let it be what? Afraid. People scared to get in relationships because of these issues. People don't trust because of these negative issues. Are you listening to me, family? We don't even trust anymore because of these negative issues. But God will help us if we just believe, people. Did you know that? You know, you might got an attitude problem. And what we do, I know, see, the thing is we do this. I know I got an attitude problem. God's still dealing with me. No. God already gave you. See, he said the peace I already gave you. When Jesus died on the cross, he already gave it to you. He's already fixed the issue. You just ain't receive it. So stop saying God is already. You remember when Jesus died on the cross, he said, what? It's finished. So he doesn't have to come fix anything for you anymore. Stop saying God is working on me. He already did the work. Your job is to receive what he has already done. That's what you got to do. Just receive what he's already done. See, I know I was jacked up. Man, I needed Jesus. And still need him. But he already done everything. So what I need to say, don't say, I know I got some issues, just pray for me. No, just say, Lord, I believe in your word. I have faith in your word. Because you said, let not my heart be troubled. Believe in me. So I got to start believing in you and believing that you're going to take care of every situation that I'm dealing with and going through. And when you do that and start believing in God's word, it changes everything.